Hello, my name is Sam. This is my story. You can read my story and you can learn English with me. This is I Went to London Part 36. You can watch all previous videos on my channel in a playlist, I Went to London. Today I want to share something that changed my English learning journey. The secret to speaking English. Many people dream of becoming fluent in English, but for me, it was once just a distant goal. When I was a student, I struggled with speaking confidently. I made many mistakes, and my fear of being wrong held me back. One day, a teacher told me something that changed my perspective. Fluency comes with daily practice. That one sentence changed my life. I realized that mastering a language is like growing a tree. You plant a seed, water it, and nurture it every day. Over time, it grows strong. One day, a student came to me feeling discouraged. "Teacher, I try to speak, but I always forget the words," she said. I smiled and reassured her. Fluency isn't about remembering every word, it's about practice. She looked hopeful and asked, "But how do I practice?" I told her that practice is everywhere. Talking with friends, listening to stories, singing songs. The key is to engage with English every day. I remember how I improved by listening to stories every night. At first I was slow, but as I repeated words and phrases, I became faster and more confident. Another student once asked me, "Is fluency just about speaking quickly?" I explained, "No, fluency is about clarity. If people understand you, you are fluent, even if you speak slowly." There was once a boy in my class who spoke very fast, but no one could understand him. I advised him to slow down and use simple words. With time, his speech became clearer and he grew more confident. Fluency is a journey, not a race. You take one step at a time, and one day you look back and see how far you've come. Over the years, I've seen many students struggle with English, but I've also seen them improve. The secret to fluency is simple: listen more. A student once told me, "I love music and I listen to English songs every day." Eventually, she started singing along and her fluency improved because she was constantly listening and repeating. Another important lesson is to embrace mistakes. One of my students was so afraid of making errors that she barely spoke. I encouraged her, saying, "Mistakes are lessons. Every mistake brings you closer to fluency." One day, she finally spoke in class. She made mistakes, but she kept going. Over time, she became fluent and told me, "I'm not afraid anymore." Fluency is also about thinking in English. A student of mine always translated from his native language before speaking, which slowed him down. I told him, "Try thinking in English, even when you're alone." At first it was difficult, but soon he began forming sentences naturally. Another student struggled because he mixed English with his native language. I encouraged him to explain unknown words in English rather than switching languages. This helped him stay immersed in English and improved his fluency. Reading is another powerful tool. When you read, you see how words form sentences and you expand your vocabulary. When I was learning English, I read simple books, noted new words, and used them in sentences. A student once came to me and said, "I read a book, but I didn't understand everything." I assured her, "That's normal. Keep reading and it will get easier." She took my advice and, after some time, returned to me saying, "Now I understand much more." One effective way to improve fluency is to record yourself speaking. A student of mine did this daily. She would read a story aloud, record herself, and listen back. This made her aware of her mistakes and helped her improve. Practicing with a friend is another great method. I knew two students who decided to speak only in English with each other. They helped one another, and over time both became fluent. Another student worked in a shop and chose to speak only in English with customers. At first it was difficult, but eventually he gained confidence and improved his speaking skills. Curiosity plays a big role in fluency. One of my students was always asking about new words. Whenever he heard one, he would learn its meaning and use it in conversation. His vocabulary grew quickly because he was eager to learn. Having a goal also keeps you motivated. I once had a student who wanted to travel to an English-speaking country. Every day she practiced, and by the time she traveled, she was fluent. Enjoying the process is important too. I had a student who loved watching English movies. He started with subtitles, then switched to watching without them. His fluency improved because he enjoyed learning. Fluency comes from repetition. A student of mine loved to repeat sentences he learned. By saying them over and over, he remembered them and could use them naturally in conversations. Speaking with different people also helps. Every person has a unique speaking style, and by talking to many people, you adapt and learn different ways of expressing yourself. One of my shy students only spoke to me. I encouraged him to start conversations with others, and over time, his confidence grew and he became more fluent. A student once asked me, "What should I do if I forget a word while speaking?" I told him, "Don't stop. Keep talking. Try to describe the word in another way." This helped him stay calm and continue speaking even when he forgot certain words. Practicing in front of a mirror also helps. One of my students, who was very shy, did this daily. Seeing herself speak gave her confidence, and soon she was speaking fluently with others. Fluency isn't about knowing every word or speaking without mistakes. It's about communicating with confidence. It's about listening, practicing, and enjoying the process. I tell my students, fluency is like cooking. You need the right ingredients: listening, speaking, reading, and practicing. Mix them well, and you will improve. The road to fluency isn't always easy, but every step brings you closer. So, I ask you, what inspires you to keep going on your journey to fluency? I'd love to hear your thoughts.